Who do you pray to? God. So how many of you wait for God to respond to what it is?
It's late morning at Alajo 1 Basic School. The earlier rains has done little to cool the day. Inside this Basic 6 classroom, the air is still and hot.
Those who pray to the Supreme Being.
Their teacher is taking them through lessons on prayers.
Okay?
But across the room, pupils are losing focus. Some pupils pick up their exercise book not to write, but to fan themselves. Others use pieces of cloth or anything they can find. A few stop writing, lift their heads, and try to catch a breath of air that does not come.
Are you okay?
My name is Farhana Suraj. Mostly when they are teaching, we feel it in the class. So you will see people taking book, fanning themselves. There is heat.
Farhana is trying to follow the lesson, but she keeps losing focus. She fans herself, takes a sip of water, and tries again.
Sometimes some people don't concentrate on learning. Madam can give classwork, maybe some people did not understand what she said, so we may get it wrong.
So that's a prayer of thanksgiving. Then I go to number 2.
The heat builds as the day goes on. By midday, temperatures rise to about 30 to 31 degrees Celsius. With the humidity, it becomes difficult to sit still, let alone concentrate.
We are feeling hot. Am I the only one feeling hot? Who is feeling hot? Hey, why the fan?
There is fun in the classroom. The teacher notices the class is restless and asks for it to be switched on.
Okay, so get it on and let's see.
It starts turning, but the air is still warm. Some pupils look at it briefly, then go back to fanning themselves. They already know it won't make much difference.
We have a fan in the classroom, but it's not helping. It blows heat.
Next to Farhana is Elizabeth, who has stopped writing. She leans back, fanning herself with her book, her focus drifting away from the lesson.
My teacher is teaching this, I can't feel comfortable. And I can't concentrate well. So sometimes I don't understand what she teaches us.
Our classroom is like an oven because of the heat in the classroom. Feels heat in the class. So some people don't concentrate on learning. So madam can give classwork. Some will get wrong and some will get correct.
Farhana describes the classroom as an oven, and that is how it feels. At the front, the teacher keeps going, slowing the lesson and trying to hold the attention. But the heat is getting to her too. She pauses, wipes her face, and carries on.
It's unbearable even in your own room when you are there and there's heat. You can't really be this one. So the students don't even concentrate when they are learning sometimes. They are finding themselves with fans and everything. So it's affecting teaching and learning. They don't concentrate, especially after lunch, that is second break after 12. The heat is really intense, so they really don't feel comfortable. And even as teachers, we don't feel comfortable.
The problem, she says, is not just the weather. It is the classroom itself. The walls are fitted with small breeze blocks meant for ventilation. But the openings are narrow and limit airflow. Instead of letting heat out, the room traps it, leaving the air still and warm.
The structure is also patched, and the roofing as well. The roofing is obvious because looking at the kind of designs we have, I think there should be air blowing, but it doesn't come that much, and the ceiling too is affecting it.
If the sun is scorching, it's called the roofing, so the roofing gets hot, and the heat will come to the class.
Outside, the sun heats the metal roof. Inside, the heat rises and stays trapped in the room.
What is your patch?
But beyond what the pupils and teachers feel, there is an effort to put numbers to it. To give meaning to the experience, a small device fixed in one of the corners of the classroom has been recording what happens here throughout the day. Every 10 minutes, it tracks temperature and humidity, building a clearer picture of the condition these pupils learn in. Betty Avanu Davidson is part of the research team from the University of Ghana. She returns from time to time to download the data.
Hi, how are you? Where is the class? Can you please take it for me? Be careful, you can use the table. Oh, you can take it. Okay. This is a tiny tag, and it records temperature, the temperature of a room. It records the relative humidity as well as the dew point. And this recording is done at 10-minute interval each day. Downloading data from this tag. So we deployed some tags in the school, and this is one of the tags. So we come here every 4 months to download data from the tag. However, you need scientific backends. You need to back them with data. So this is going to give us the scientific data, the scientific records to back the perceptional data that we are taking.
What is happening in this classroom is not isolated. Professor Ebenezer Amankwa is the lead researcher.
There is some rising temperatures over the years in the schools that we've monitored, and these rising temperatures combining with factors such as building orientation, classroom characteristics, poor tree shading tends to increase the extreme heat in the school.
Across urban areas like Accra, researchers are observing what is known as the urban heat island effect, where buildings, roads, and roofing materials trap heat and raise temperatures.
We also continue the old architecture of having the courtyards or the overhangs where, like a small corridor in front of the classrooms that sort of protect the sun rays from having direct contact to the classrooms. So once you have those courtyards or corridors, they sort of become the sun bricks. So they reduce the sun intensity from getting to the classrooms. For security and other reasons, they are changing the traditional windows into block windows, and that is not good because that really affects ventilation. We need to make sure that GAS is very hard on this, and so that if a school wants to make any renovation, they should be within these standards that would not sacrifice the thermal comfort of students at the expense of providing security in the classroom.
Ghana already recognizes the risk. In its national climate plan, the country warns that if action is delayed, the long-term cost could undermine development and affect vulnerable groups, including children, in classrooms like this.
Let's start quantifying the cost of no action, right? So as academics, there's something that we tend to do so that we bring the evidence to stakeholders and policymakers so that they can make evidence-based policies, right? Because if you don't take action now, you pay a cost, you pay a price for that, okay? And this will include the performance of your school, of your students. Okay, this will include the absenteeism that the school children will face during extreme heat, where they don't sleep well at home and they come to school, and then the heat is also so much that they can't bear in the classrooms.
This condition is not limited to Alajo 1 Basic School. It is happening in classrooms across the country. Pupils who should be following lessons are instead trying to stay comfortable, and over time, those small gaps begin to add up.
If you are finding yourself, shoes, maybe sometimes you say that even hair cry is feeling heat. So I should put the book down and concentrate.
The teacher has been teaching the whole day, so he or she expects you to get something at that time of the day. But the learners who maybe at the time they are also suffering or they are getting something else at that time. Meanwhile, it is not known to the teacher or something. But the teacher is doing his or her work.
Heat, has been a big thing. And if you don't get a teacher who understands these dynamics in the classrooms, and the classroom is too hot, what the teacher will do is to just be caning school children, because school children are also experiencing discomfort, and the teacher themselves are also experiencing their own discomfort.
You want air conditioning?
The lesson continues, but not everyone is keeping up. While the class moves on, some pupils are still trying to catch up with what they missed in the heat. The heat is not stopping school, but it is changing what is learned and what is lost along the way. Over time, those missed moments begin to matter.
I want to be a journalist in future to talk about things going on in the country, but I'm afraid maybe the condition in the classroom will affect my performance.
Ghana's own climate plan warns that without action, the long-term cost could affect development and the most vulnerable. And in classrooms like this, that future is already taking place. Emmanuel Dzivenu, Joy News, Alajo, Accra.
We are feeling hot. Am I the only one feeling hot?